Hey guys, today I wanted to do a tutorial on stretching, something I've noticed that a lot of people are overlooking in their training. A lot of trickers or tracers or even gymnasts, I see them get to the gym and immediately start throwing down. Now stretching is really important. You can help prevent a lot of injuries, and it's going to help you develop the flexibility for a lot of the skills both in gymnastics, tricking, and martial arts. So this is the way I stretch. I usually warm up first, jumping jacks or whatever you need to do. But from here on out, this is my stretching routine. I start with arm circles forward. I try to do everything for at least 10 seconds, but if something feels already stretched, you don't really need to worry about it as much. Arm circles backwards, up and down, side to side. Put one arm across your chest and push your shoulder towards your hand. Stretch a little bit of your back and a lot of your shoulder. And do the same thing on the other side. Still pushing my left shoulder towards the right. Stretch my back as well. And then put an arm behind your head and pull your elbow over. And same thing on the other side. Now I stand in a straddle with my legs a bit more than shoulder width apart and reach for a foot. Reaching with both my arms, not just one. I'm going to try to put my nose on my knee. And to the other side as well. And then down to the middle. If you can touch the floor, grab your elbows and then reach. And then I bend one leg and put my forearms on the ground. Kids call this Spider-Man stretch. Stretches the inside of your hamstring and a little bit of your hip. Then I stay low as I switch to the other side and do the same thing. From there, I sit in a big straddle, as big as I can, pulling my foot apart. I'm going to put one arm on the floor here, reaching for my quad if you like, and then I'm going to reach over towards my opposite foot. Now, however flexible you guys are is perfectly fine. Everyone starts somewhere, and if it's stretching for you, if you're starting to feel that pain, that means you're doing it right. Now, this stretch should be stretching your side and a little bit of your hips. I'm going to reach for one foot with both of our arms and try to touch our nose to our knee again. And same thing to the other side. And then finally we're going to reach out for the middle. Now when I do this, I take a deep breath in, push it out, and then fall down. Now we're going to bring our feet together in a pike. I point my toes first, do the same thing. And then do the same thing with flexed feet, except this time I'm going to pull my feet off the floor. Then you can bring your feet in for a butterfly stretch. Your feet are together, and bring them as close to you as you can. Then use your forearms to push your knees towards the floor. Then roll out an ankle, sit just like me, and roll out your ankle to its extreme limits. I do it pretty slowly, just to make sure I get all the way around and stretch every inch of that ankle, mostly because I have bad ankles. And you're going to hug your knee as close to your body as you can, lean back a little bit, to stretch your hip area right here. And do the same thing for the other side. Hug that knee as well. And then I twist my body like this. My left knee goes across my right leg. Stretch my back to the sides. Ooh, it cracked. You guys hear that? And from there, I stretch my wrists. Something very important for us parkour peeps. Fingers towards the ceiling first. Put them on the floor and lean forward with your shoulders and your elbows over your hands. Then fingers pointing towards the floor. And sit back as far away from them. So get your shoulders and your elbows behind your hands. And flip them over. Do the same thing, sit back. And then put your fingers facing the opposite sides and then twist. So you're putting your shoulders and your elbows around the outer limits of your wrist flexibility. So you're kind of stretching all those muscles we just did at once. Now again, I'm doing this kind of fast. If there's any individual stretch that either feels really good or like hurts really bad because that muscle's sore, you probably need to take a little bit more time on that one, and that's okay. Take this basis that you're learning here and then cater it for your needs. If you've got really unflexible legs, you might want to do the straddle stretches and what we're about to do a little bit more, twice, maybe 3 times, whenever you're starting to feel loose and ready to get pumped and go Super Saiyan and do a bunch of crazy stuff. So from there, I take my bad leg and start on splits. So I stretch my split by staying in this position and then pushing my knee over my foot. Start stretching here and here. And then straightening my front leg and bringing my nose to my knee. I'm just going to stretch under my right knee. And finally, to get my back quad, I'm going to stretch forward again and pick my foot off the ground and pull it towards me. If you guys can't do this, start small. You know, if you can only bring it up to here, that's fine. Do that, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, just like any other skill, until you're way flexible and can do crazy like V kicks. So I'm going to slide down, making sure that my body's in a straight line, and I'm reaching forward with my toes like a point in gymnastics, not with my arms both from this side, one on each side. And the worst mistake I see for stretching purposes is people will want to have their leg here, and you're missing all the flexibility in your back quad by doing that. So you want to make sure you're straight, slow down as far as you can go. And I know that it hurts and it's terrible, but it makes you more flexible, which is really useful, and in the end you get injured less for it, so I'd say it's worth it. And that's all set. Not many people do this stretch, but I absolutely love it. Think of it like a split kind of off to the side, and this knee is at a right angle, 90-degree angle, back knee straight, then I lean forward. That really stretches my hips, which is fantastic. And we can do the same thing on the other split. Same stretches, reaching forward, and sitting back. Then bringing our back foot up. And then finally sliding down. Yes, my good leg. If you feel like you can bring your arms up, take more weight onto the split, force yourself to go down. Feels great, I promise. Alright, anything else I'm forgetting? Whoa. So that's how I stretch and get already. I hope it helps you guys. Again, take whatever you need to do with this, stretch that, go back on ones that feel great. If that muscle's already loose, don't bother stretching it, and so enjoy your training. There are a few extra stretches that I don't really do unless that part of my body is feeling particularly injured, namely being back bends and middle splits. So with the back bend, obviously we're stretching our back out. Not so much the muscles, more than the bone structures of the back. If you want to stretch the back muscles, I would tell you to do a pike stretch, but instead of reaching out for your toes, try to push your back backwards and get your nose in between your quads. And that's going to stretch out the muscles right here, down your back. But if you think that you need to work on your back arch, or for back handsprings, or back flexibility for whatever else, you start by working on bridges. You start in position 1, body straight, and then you're going to bend your elbows and your knees, making sure that your hands, your fingers are pointing towards your feet, which mine are, and then finally pushing up off your back and neck to get into a bridge. Male gymnasts straighten their knees, and if you're a female or have a little bit extra flexibility, you can try to walk in and push up still. And when you're finished, you want to sit like this, grab your knees, and roll your back out. The middle split being fairly obvious, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. Start from a straddle and just walk your feet out to the sides. And if you're decently flexible, you should be able to put your forearms on the ground. It's going to force you to do a little bit more of the stretching. And then if you're more flexible than I am, eventually you want to walk your hands out to the sides, try to get your chest to the floor. So that's my stretching tutorial, and I hope you guys find it useful and able to implement it into your training. If you have any questions, feel free to post it down there in the comments. Be sure to subscribe for more tutorials and videos and shenanigans. Hope you guys enjoy it.